A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, take immense pleasure in hosting the inaugural function of the virtual symposium on the recent trends in aquaculture industries, jointly organized by Colonel Dr. JPR Research Park, Center for Ocean Research, and Satyabama University Technology Business Incubator, in association with the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Earth Science and Technology Cell. With the blessings of the Almighty and our beloved founder chancellor, Colonel Dr. JPR, we have all gathered here today virtually for this wonderful occasion. I take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our patrons, Dr. Maria Zina Johnson, Chancellor, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, and Dr. Mary Johnson, President, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, for their constant guidance, support, and encouragement in all our endeavors. On this momentous occasion, I invite Dr. B. Sheila Rani, Director, Research, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
A warm good morning to all the distinguished who have gathered here on this virtual platform. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for the virtual symposium on the recent trends in aquaculture industry that is being jointly organized by Center for Ocean Research and Satyabama Technology Business Incubator under the banner of Ministry of Earth Sciences, Earth Science Technology Cell, which is being done from 20th to 25th of July 2020. On this occasion, I welcome our Vice Chancellor, Dr. T. Sashi Prabha, and thanking her for having accepted to give the presidential note in this great occasion. I am very happy to welcome Professor Dr. Balasubramanian, who is the Vice Chancellor of Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, who also immediately accepted to inaugurate and deliver the address in this occasion. I welcome Dr. Gopal Iyengar sir, Scientist G, Head ESTC from Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, who always encourages at all times and having accepted to deliver the address. I also welcome Dr. A.R. Tirunavukarasu, former Head of Division and Principal Scientist of ICAR, Central Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, and again thanking him for his acceptance to deliver the keynote address and grace this occasion. It's a very right platform. I should inform that our Center for Ocean Research is being recognized by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India for specialization on marine biotechnological studies and established the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Earth Science Technology ESTC cell at Colonel Dr. JPR Research Park Center for Ocean Research of our Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. I'm happy to welcome our honorable members of the Scientific Steering Committee of Ministry of Earth Sciences, Earth Science and Technology Cell, Professor Dr. Dilip Deobagar, who is the former Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Dr. Logabharati Madam, who is the Emeritus Scientist of NIO CSIR, Dr. Kribakaran, the former Scientist G and Head of MBT NIOT, Dr. G. Dharani, Scientist F and Head MBT NIOT, Dr. GVM Gupta, Scientist F, CMLRE, and Dr. Jagbir Singh, Scientist F, Ministry of Sciences, in addition to having our steering committee members, Dr. Balasubramaniam sir and Dr. Gopal Iyengar sir, for their cordial presence in this great occasion. One of the objectives of our MOES ESTC is to develop a common platform and create linkages with agencies, institutions, industries, on state, national, and international levels for collaborative thoughts and to disseminate the ideas on the augmentation of marine biological resources. That is one of the reasons we have started this particular symposium that is focusing towards the aquaculture industries. As aquaculture and allied research is one of the focus areas of Center for Ocean Research, this virtual symposium on the recent trends in aquaculture industries is designed as per the objectives of MOES ESTC and Center for Ocean Research. This virtual symposium is being framed as a 6-day program and planned for 2 sessions each day, one in the morning by 10 a.m. and one in the noon by 1 p.m. The following field level speakers in the aquaculture industry have been invited, and we are very happy to welcome Dr. Farshad Shishain, Group President and CEO from Blue Aqua Group Singapore, who is going to deliver the first talk immediately after this inauguration process is over. And we have the speakers, Dr. A. Victor Suresh, Managing Director, Dr. Manoj Sharma, Dr. Amrani Ravikumar, Dr. Raja Manohar, Dr. P. Charan, Mr. B. Ravikumar, Dr. B. Kadiravan, Dr. Muthuswamy, Dr. Mariyaraj Vijay, Dr. P. Selvakumar, and Dr. R. Sundararajan, who are all the pioneers in the aquaculture industry. So far, 950 registrations have been received from 14 different countries, from Bangladesh, our own India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal, Nigeria, Oman, Qatar, Republic of Maldives, Republic of Ghana, Singapore, Spain, Sri Lanka, and UAE. Once again, I welcome all the distinguished guests who have gathered here to grace this occasion. As a final note, I would wish the participants to use this platform in a best way and utilize the informative lectures. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome address. I now have great pleasure in inviting Dr. T. Sasiprabha, Vice Chancellor, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, to deliver the presidential address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning. So, respected SP Balasubramanian sir, then Gopal sir, our Director of Research, madam, and all the other distinguished speakers and the participants mainly. So, I'm very happy to note that 950 participants are here in this forum to attend this 6 days symposium. It was actually very, very important topic, aquaculture. Last week also we had one. So this is showing that the amount of work that is going on in Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology towards aquaculture is concerned. So we have Center for Aquaculture, we have Center for Ocean Research. I'm really appreciating the scientific team of Center for Ocean Research. Under the banner of ESTSSL, you are organizing this great, wonderful symposium covering almost all topics. So we are very happy to note that you are covering on ornamental aquaculture, shrimp viral diseases, then probiotics, then current scenarios of global seaweeds, then aquaculture career and opportunities. I think for the young entrepreneurs, it will be an eye-opening session to start your entrepreneurship in this field of aquaculture. Also, I would like to give few note on this platform, because we have a lot of industrial partners also here. The founders of various aquaculture farms are here. The demand for this aquaculture food, whatever it is, it may be a fish or it may be a shrimp. The demand in India itself is huge. But our own products, our own Indians aren't able to consume that much. We do not know the actual reason behind it, because you are actually exporting the good quality products to the other countries. And in market, even if you want to consume something, we cannot able to get at the right places. So all these industries who are associated with this symposium, we can have a common discussion and to have a solution to target the consumers of India. Because we are talking about Make in India, the Prime Minister is concerned about Make in India. So we are producing a lot of products technically, and this edible products also. So this is Chennai is associated with the sea. So all we are nearby, we have a lot of sea backwater, and we have got a SIBA also, British Water Aquaculture, and we have a lot of research organizations like us, like Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. We have research scientists working on the research part of aquaculture field. You can get their input, get their technologies, whatever they developed in their institution, and you can, based on that, you can able to produce good products for the consumers of Indians, our own community. So you can find out it's a very good large industry actually speaking. So please utilize our own industry, our own consumers also, and you find out some strategic plan to, because when we want to get say for example prawn, if you want to get from a supermarket, it is not available in India. Whereas if you go to foreign countries, any supermarket, if you say, we can able to take it, and with great belief, we can, with great trust, we can consume the items which is available in other countries. But it is just not possible in so far. I would say, even if we have supermarkets with a lot of other frozen foods, because we are not having that mindset to consume those frozen items because of their bitter experiences. Okay, so these industries who are here in this aquaculture field, with the use of without the use of the antibiotics. Now I think you have come to the probiotics. So avoid using antibiotics because when you export things to outside, you have got a testing mechanisms. Otherwise, if you are not allowed to export your products to other countries. But inside the market also, the same quality, if you can able to supply, sure, you will get so many takers and your brand value will increase. And if you are not compromising the quality, surely you can able to get a good market within India itself. With a small hint, I request our the Jambavans of aquaculture here. I think Dr. Balasubramanian sir and other all speakers. I think they were all the pioneers in this field. So with their guidance, we can able to work out some strategy and find out the good market in India itself. And I hope this symposium will give you a lot of insights and lot of various research progresses towards this industry. And it will be enlightening for all the participants who are participating in this symposium. I'm really thankful to the organizers, headed by our Director of Research, Dr. Vishalarani ma'am, and Dr. Inbagan, the convener of this program, and all the other organizing team for having organized this wonderful symposium at the 6 days. It is not easy to organize for 6 days, coordinating with so many speakers, so many participants. So I think all the participants and speakers will take best use of this symposium. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a great pleasure to have had you with us today. I take immense pleasure in inviting Honorable Dr. T. Balasubramanian, Vice Chancellor, Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, to deliver the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Esteemed Vice Chancellor and very dynamic with the great vision, because she is the true follower of the visionary of the founder chairman, Dr. Colonel JPR sir. Madam Sasi Prabha, very dynamic and a long-term associate of the Satyabama University, currently the Director of Research, Dr. Sheila Madam. And I need not elaborate much, but still everyone knows that I'm deeply associated with the Satyabama University. And at the outset, I offer my prayers to the Colonel JPR sir, the visionary, the savior of education, who founded this great university. And no doubt his vision is very unique. See, many universities, they have a number of departments, number of faculties, whereas Satyabama is the lone university. 25 years before, they could be able to establish research centers in the university system, because all the universities, conventional universities and state universities, they go for only the different departments. But
I request the participants to kindly mute yourselves to avoid disturbances in the talks. Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Okay, no issues. And he could be able to visualize that and establish various centers within Satyabama with the involvement of the great scientists all over the country and all over the world, and establishes very fruitfully the different scientific centers. And one such center is the Center for Ocean Research. And when he wanted to develop that, and he could be able to identify me and Dr. Sheila ma'am as the Vice Chancellor visited my center, and then we could be able to initiate the activities. Needless to say, myself and Professor T.J. Pandian and Dr. D. Chandramohan, we three were involved in organizing the whole activities for the Center for Ocean Research, Center for Aquaculture and Center for Animal Facility. And in fact, Dr. Tirunavukarasa is also closely associated with whatever things in Aquaculture Center, that is because of Dr. A.R. Tirunavukarasa, my close friend and close associate and my family associate also. And Dr. Chandramohan and myself, we had a long association, and we spent more time with Colonel JPR sir in establishing this center. Needless to say, I also mentioned in the last webinar also, always daughters follow the father's footsteps compared to the sons. And that way, the present chancellor is truly following the vision of her father and fulfilling the desire of her father in augmenting the additional facilities, in doing all the necessary things for the growth of the Satyabhama University on the whole. So my deep sense of prayers to Dr. Colonel JPR sir, as well as I also greet the present chancellor, vice chancellor, and the director of research for making this wonderful occasion. And coming to the topic, definitely, before I go for the topic, I also should thank my chairman for allowing me to inaugurate this seminar. That is my good friend, as well as the chairman of ESTC, the monitoring committee, the National Steering Committee, Dr. Dilip Devbagar, who is a great academician come scientist, who was the former vice chancellor of Goa University, who is known in Pune University, in not only in zoology, biotechnology, bioinformatics, you name anything in science, in biology, science, he can speak and he can do. In fact, he will be the right person to inaugurate, but probably always he thinks that Balu will do the relevant job. That way, sir, many thanks to you for allowing me to participate in this inaugural thing. And the whole thing goes to you, sir, rather. And that is Dr. Dilip Devbagar, the chairman of the ESTC, as well as we have a distinguished members in the faculty in the ESTC, that is Dr. Lokabharati ma'am, myself, Dr. Kribakaran, as well as Dr. Dharani and Dr. Gupta representing NIOT as well as CMLRI. And it is being amply guided by the very senior scientific advisor, Dr. Gopal sir. And Gopal Iyengar, if he's not giving his hand in this, the functioning of the ESTC will be very difficult. And of course, the Gopal Iyengar is also being ably supported by the member secretary, Dr. Jagveer. So the whole team, we are very keen that the ESTC in Satyabhama should do a fruitful affair and should contribute for the growth of science in this country. And that way, on behalf of the ESTC steering committee, as well as on behalf of the Minister of Earth Science, because the consecutive secretaries also, they were giving helping hand, right from the Dr. Harshgupta, Dr. Goyal, and Dr. Sailesh Naik, and above all, the present secretary, Dr. Rajivan, has very soft corner for universities in general, for science in general, and marine science in general. And that way, he is giving his helping hand. And that is how the ESTC could be able to flourish in this country, and especially in Satyabhama, ultimately taking to greater heights. Fine. And because of this, I think the Director of Research has decided to culminate a wonderful event, the webinar for a week. That is for one week, almost, because 6 days, although only 1 day is left out, maybe you can include the preparation things, it is a week. And where they could be able to involve, because they have the technology park also, they thought that they should address the industries, the aqua industries. Probably everyone knows the country is looking for the blue economy. And the blue economy and marine bioresources is one of the buzzword now, because we almost exhausted all our terrestrial resources. And we need to depend heavily on the marine resources. Aqua industry is already a flourishing industry. And everyone knows how the aqua industry had a prospects and what it is presently having the retrospects. I need not go into details, especially in terms of seeds, in terms of feeds. We have a lot of problems. And in fact, the aqua industry is a role model industry in solving the present solution, in present problem, the pandemic problem. Because the virus problem, you know that the quarantine facilities established by aqua industries is a role model rather. The human beings, we could be able to gain a lot of input from the aqua industries, how they quarantine the fishes, how they quarantine them from diseases, all these things, especially for the virus. But still, the fight is going on, rather, I would say. And that is one of the major setbacks in aqua industries. And with that note, if you think the task before us is phenomenal. Of course, the Vice Chancellor aptly mentioned there is a lot of scope for to fulfill the demand within the country itself, because there is a large demand for indigenous populations. That means that because of the popularity of the rich protein resources, as well as the need for quick energy, people has to depend mainly on the marine resources. But the availability, both as well as live as well as frozen, should be in a very clean way, should be available for our country-owned consumption. Of course, it's an excellent point made by the Vice Chancellor. I should compliment her for giving this, for bringing this to highlight. And definitely, Madam, we will take it up. And probably Satyabama will also make all the initiative to do things to popularize the marine seafood for consumption, as well as storage, as well as for marketing and trading. In fact, the last seminar, the ornamental fishes, the trading has been given more focus. In fact, I was also deeply impressed on the potential of trading. So the technology development and trading, there is a lot of possibilities for development, for augmentation, and for the better growth of the industry, as well as for the benefit for the humankind from the blue economy, marine resources rather. And incidentally, it is not only harvesting the marine resources. We should not think only about the multiplication as well as harvesting, as well as culturing only food fishes or only ornamental fishes, things like this. But we should also consider how best aqua industry, a portion should also be focused towards conservation point. I mean, the rich marine biodiversity need to be conserved rather. The conservation, how we can do. Unfortunately, not much effort is being made for sea ranching the marine bioresources. We always think of only exploiting the resources, but we should also give sizable quantity back to the environment. Of course, it is happening throughout the world in a small scale, but not in a large scale. So country like India, through the aqua industries, we should also attempt for conserving the marine bioresources. And that should be another attempt, because considering not only the conservation of marine bioresources, as well as the impact of climate change, which is being realized from Arctic to the tropical situations, we need to bother about the impact of climate change also. So considering the impact of climate change, considering the biodiversity conservation, and the time is now is to look on the biodiversity conservation, as well as we should profitably utilize resources for human consumption. Rather, it is safe human consumption. That is the concern of our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Satyabama ma'am. I 100% agree with you, ma'am. We wanted to supply a safe and healthy seafood for the common people. That is the ultimate vision of Colonel JPR, sir. He always bothered the downtrodden community by giving them excellent opportunities, not only for employment, as well as for education. That is why he is savior of education. And his vision would be fulfilled. I'm sure the participants of more than around 1,000 people will realize the importance of the topic, importance of the day in potentially utilizing the blue economy rather, the bioresources, the marine bioresources, and its conservation and its potential, the exploitation and utilization. I'm quite happy, as well as I should sincerely thank the Secretary Minister of Earth Sciences for giving their support in doing this kind of researches under the excellent team of his own ministry under Dr. Gopal Iyengar and Dr. Jagveer and other scientists, in addition to the steering committee. And that way, I am doubly happy, as well as I'm totally convinced Satyabama University is doing a wonderful job. Only thing, they need to do a lot of in-depth research in each and every centers which are devoted to establish for that. And with this brief note, I sincerely thank Dr. Sheila ma'am for inviting me to inaugurate, as well as I already told, my thanks are to my chairman, Dr. Dilip Deobagra also, and Dr. Loko Bharati for allowing me to represent in this inaugural function. And with this small note, I thank every one of you, the organizers, Dr. Inbagandhan and every one of you for inviting me to wonderful occasion for this occasion. With this, I thank once again, thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your precious words. We are indeed very fortunate to have heard from you. I request the participants to stop screen sharing. Yeah, thank you. At this juncture, I take great pleasure in inviting Honorable Dr. Gopal Iyengar, Head, ESTC Program, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
So, a very good morning to all of you. Dr. Sasi Prabha, Vice Chancellor, Satyabama University. Dr. Sheila Rani, Director Research. Professor Bala Subramaniam, who has been guiding many of our institutes of the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Professor Deobakar, Chairman of the Scientific Steering Committee. Other members of the steering committee, Dr. Loka Bharati, Dr. Kribakaran, Dr. Dharani, Dr. Gupta, and my colleague, Dr. Jagveer Singh. A very good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to know that the Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology is organizing this virtual symposium on a very, very important topic, as already mentioned by Professor Bala Subramaniam, in the context of the blue economy, that is the recent trends of aquaculture industries. Quoting a report from the Niti Aayog, I can say that the production of fishery and aquaculture in India are on the rise. And currently, by going by that report, India stands third in the fisheries and second in the aquaculture production in terms of the volume at the global level. And it is estimated that by 2030, India will require about 18 million metric tons of fish products to meet the growing demands. And currently, India is producing about 11 metric tons annually. So there will be a big gap, and aquaculture will be a very, very good area and which can bridge this gap. So we need to focus on the current trends of the aquaculture. Probably this is the right moment that this has been organized by SIS. We need to think about the biotechnological inventions, and they offer a huge potential for tapping these resources to meet the sustainable development goals. As was already mentioned by Professor Bala Subramaniam, we should keep this in very much in the mind, the sustainable development goals, and we cannot go on very harmlessly exploiting the already bigger resources to meet the demands of the blue economy. We also need to focus upon the climate smart biotechnology, as we all know that we need to minimize the adverse impacts of the climate change also. So probably we need to focus on the climate smart biotechnology applications. So to summarize, we can say that we need a comprehensive infrastructure development for the commercialization of the aquaculture, including hatcheries and nurseries, the feed supplies, health management, etc. You would be aware that the Ministry of Earth Sciences has done pioneering work in the field of the ocean resources. We have got 3 institutes, the National Institute of Ocean Technology, which under the guidance, which under the leadership of the former head, Dr. Kribakaran, had done extremely good work in the marine biotechnology as well as fish cage culture. And they've already transferred some of these products to the industry through NRDC. We are very recently, we also had a MOU with SIBA, and I hope that this research work continues in a great strength. The other center, that the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, it does a very major role in providing the potential fishing zone advisories to all the coastal states. In fact, very recently, we have recently started the forecast also. So we can give the forecast for the potential fishing zone for the next 3 to 5 days. Very recently started for the state of Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, and we hope to extend this forecast to the other state very soon. Another important feature which our center inquires has added is the advices on the harmful algal bloom. This is a very important service which we have and hope that the inquires continues to get. Our center, which is doing very important work in the Ministry of Sciences, is the Center for Marine Living Resources and Ecology in Cochin, and it has done a very good work in the monitoring and exploration of the resources. So, Ministry of Earth Sciences centers will continue to do the good work related to the ocean sciences. Another thing which I wanted to tell you was about the Earth ESTC cell, the Earth Science and Technology Cell program. It was started to support theme-based focused network research on identified themes of the disciplines of the Earth system science towards meeting the mandates of the Ministry of Earth Sciences. I'm very, very happy to know that the ESTC cell, which has been formed at SIST, is doing very good work. And I really appreciate the good work done by the Ocean Research Center of the Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. I'm very, very happy to know that there are about 1,000 participants today. And I'm sure the proceedings of this symposium will help in meeting the entrepreneurs who will be attending this mission and surely reach the goal of our Honorable Prime Minister of the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we need to be Atmanirbhar. We do not have to depend upon the other countries. So we'd like to do good work and meet the demands of our own people. Once again, I thank you for inviting me for this conference, and I wish this symposium all success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your precious words amidst your busy schedule. I am happy to invite Dr. A.R.T. Arasu, former head of division and principal scientist, ICAR, Central Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to all. It's very heartening. I don't know what for I have been invited because I know Satyabama and myself as limited associate is there with the good feelings of the former Vice Chancellor, the present Director of Research, Dr. Sheila Rani, and is the architect of this great institution, especially the Center for Ocean Research for the Vice Chancellor of today, the Chettinad Medical University, Professor Dr. Balasubramaniam, who is my good friend, philosopher and guide. For all, he stands for me. And the other dignitaries who visualize the great. The real honor goes to the late Colonel JPR, who visualized the great center. And it's very heartening to note that you are doing extremely good work, great things with the able guidance of the present Vice Chancellors, the Chancellors, and the Presidents of this university. It is really a marvelous thing. What we visualized, was visualized, what was thought from an institution is going on nicely. And one of the activities is this organization of this very important symposium for 6 days, the 12 or 13 lectures, bringing all the global people who are in the field actually doing, I know most of them, whether it is Farsang from Singapore, whether it is Manoj from Gujarat, Myang Aquaculture, and many other good friends who have been involved with the trade, industry, culture, operation, production, productivity, maintaining the quality. It's a marvelous. I should congratulate and compliment the organizers, the convener, Dr. Winbak Andan, who could mobilize this wonderful resource person. It's really great that about 1,000 participants have registered. We call for them. That shows the importance of the aquaculture and the people who gives a greater emphasis on aquaculture. It is must for all of us. For simple reason that fish production today is somewhere around 170 or 76 million tons globally. In India, it is around 11 million tons, of which the aquaculture contribution is around 45% more than. And we hope in the years to come, it will be 50-50. Sometime the aquaculture will surpassing the capture fisheries itself. The reasons all of you know that the maximum stock of our ocean is thoroughly exploited, rather to say. An estimate says more than 70% of the stock is being overexploited and becoming going to be non-sustainable. It's already the things. A given example is the maximum sustainable yield from our Indian seas around 3.9 million tons. We almost reached a plateau, and day by day, year by year, we are going to be in the downward trend rather than sustain the trend. What is our scope of doing this? As the former Vice Chancellor, Dilip sir, put it that our consumption is increasing. And we currently in the order of about 7 kg per hectare consumption. The global average of around 12 kg per capita consumption we would reach at least, not at least, it's 9 kg. A requirement for domestic itself will be somewhere in the order of about 16 million tons in the years to come by 2025. The great emphasis on producing further from 11 to 16 or 18 is an ordeal task for all of us, mostly the young scientists who have been associated with. And many interventions have to come into the picture. And in that aspect, the Satyabama also may be playing a vital role in providing the manpower, providing the research input, providing the very value addition things to the components. So how to go about it? This is where the concept of blue economy is now globally direct. We have already reached the maximum MSY, increasing population of the catch effort and diminishing returns of the bioresources. What are we going to do further? The only option for is do productive, increase your production through your intervention. That's where the aquaculture has become an indispensable part of the protein supplement. It's not only for protein supplement. As of today, it is supporting more than 60 million jobs directly, apart from indirect. It's a value chain component. No other proposition in the world, industry or any other industries has got that much link towards the as that of the fish. We start from the fish, buying the fish, cutting the fish, taking the fish, up to cooking and eating. It has got a value chain of components wherein many can be associated with, involved, and many scientific and human interventions are to be things. It is more like a social and economically linked entrepreneurship. That's where now the emphasis more on the aquaculture. Aquaculture per se in India is to a great extent well established in the case of the freshwater aquaculture because it sustains and supports us around 80 to 90% of the production of more than 5 million tons. But whereas in the case of the marine and the coastal aquaculture, we are still at very lagging behind, though we claim that we have got a potential resources. Obviously, because our thrust area was earlier years was different. For the past 2.5 decades only, we have been entering into the arena in a very hectic way. And we have confronted many problems. So one such problem is because our focus was different. As far as the trends in aquaculture in the fresh marine water or the coastal thing is, emphasis was mostly on a single commodity. It was rightly pointed out by the Vice Chancellor, your Vice Chancellor, that we are not getting the shrimps to eat in India. I recollect in 1979, we had where the intention of transferring our technologies land to land development program by the ICAR, the great scientist, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan was in the presidium, and one minister politically, very strong, who is belonging to a particular party, emphasized, told that you produce shrimps and send it to somebody else to eat and get beef from there. What is our economy of export? What is our economy in this? He made fun of us. And we are all hearing it. To some extent, it's true. My industry friends often we emphasize that to cater the need as per the Vice Chancellor put it, that to see that some product is available to our masses. Will be available. No doubt it is one of the products of versatility in taste, flavor, texture. You can meet from 5 rupees to 5,000 rupees. You can get fishes because egg, chicken, any other meat is a uniform price. But the fish is the one which you can get for 5 rupees a kilo as well as 500 rupees a kilo and 5,000 rupees a kilo. That cater the needs of variety of the people, variety of tastes, variety. That's where you encash it. We request the industry to do the things possibly in India. And we are going to have the Make in India program. And your emphasis will be on productive, produce more, increase the production, increase the productivity, and maintain the quality. That's where we are attempting to do. And blue economy emphasis on the how to go about in the production of the high in the aquaculture, visualized in so many things. One is the diversification of species. Don't focus on one species. Today we are our coastal aquaculture per se is dependent on a particular species. That one imported species like Letopenes velius. We have to go for domestication the species to get more useful things, and we have to diversify to another some other species of like fishes, high quality fishes we have standardized. Fortunate, I was one among the team. I could do the first marine fish breeding in 1997, still yet to pick it up in a large scale. It's one of the wonderful fishes. Sometimes it sells more than the shrimp. You would have heard about it called as Betchi in many parts of India, the sea bass, yet latest calcarifer. And our tiger shrimp is now in the low profile because of the obvious reasons. And our other things are in a very bad shape. So we have to diversify the products. Cultivation, aquaculture in India itself has to be diversified. It is being done elsewhere in a diversified manner. That is one of the emphasis given in the blue economy. You go for new species, diverse species, establish new hatcheries, new quality seeds to be made. Seed is felt to be the one of the impediments. Quality seed. We produce a lot of seed, but it's a quality, certification, traceability, where from it has come, whether it is disease-free, how it is going to grow. All these are left to the things, and policy matters are being derived. One aspect we are visualizing, my good friend Dr. Kripakaran, who was the earlier head of the biotechnology division of NIOT, and the SIBA, CMFRA, many institutions, R&D institutions are doing some Herculean task of how best we can put our sea system, ecosystem into aquaculture. One is the cage farm on a large scale, not impairing the environment, rightly pointed by Dr. Dilip. See that this ecosystem is safe within your hands. Sometimes we feel that aquaculture is also, sometimes we get some quarters raise doubts. Aquaculture is also partially responsible for seeing that the environmental quality is getting into problem. So a lot of regulations, stipulations, conditions to see that the system is saved is put forth, responsible aquaculture, best management practices. All these are visualized and awareness is created. All our friends who will be joining in giving a great talk on the various aspects of the feed, seed, trade, or all will be joining with all the participants in the days, another 5 or 6 days to come. And we will be having wonderful deliberations with the panel of speakers. I could see Manoj, who is doing even with all pandemic problems, everything. Shrimp is an excellent commodity, now comes from Gujarat, where he says that this is only possible. Then you see the hatchery people, BMR is doing wonderful way. All the people associated with are with you, going to discuss with you. And we will be much benefited. And Satyabama also will be a partner in these programs. Trade is one of the very important. We may increase the production. Where are you going to sell? We should not end up with as that in the agriculture today. This is a big concern about the things we have been sensitizing. I request the policymakers who are associated with this sensitize the government. There is no guarantee that the producer will get the assured market. To the information of Madam Satya Brahma today, the shrimp is available in the domestic market less than 400 rupees for 40 count. It's a very unfortunate. 40, 50 counts are because there's a pandemic. China is not going to import from us. Many other countries are in the economic doldrum. Who will import from us? How? We requested my friend, good friend, who will be offering a talk Mr. Ilancheran, Dr. Ilancheran, to do the job of domestic market. He did it, but then it was not pursued further because of obvious reasons. So domestic market daily chain is one of the important components which the government or the policy makers are visualizing. So some of the policies are on the avenue as far as the culture, value chain things, providing the inputs to the coastal folk in terms of social input. Many projects on R&D, demonstration in the very respective provincials and the government of India. A lot of money is coming into the projects. There's avenues for entrepreneurship. 20,000 crores are coming into the fisheries sector with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Department of Fisheries. That's an excellent opportunity for the youngsters to start with the various components, maybe a live feed, maybe a broodstock, maybe an hatchery, maybe a farm, maybe a cage culture operations. All these are the avenues which will be deliberated here. And then you will be finding it extremely an interesting component as far as the modern trends. There are people, experts are available in plenty in India. India is one of the very strong subcontinent which has got an entrepreneurship. It's an excellent manpower as far as aquaculture is concerned. We have got to specialize in all species, whether it is health, whether it is nutrition, whether it is broodstock development, whether it is aquasystem management. Make use of it. And I wish the participants a great success. Some of you should become an entrepreneur. Some should become a scientist. Many should become good academicians to develop the manpower. Wish you best of. I once again thank the organizers for having organized an wonderful international symposium of this sort, which you will be deliberating. And this is one chance. Wish you best of luck. Thank you very much. Thank you for all.
Thank you, sir, for your precious words. I now am happy to invite Honorable Professor Dr. Dilip N. Deobakkar, Chairman, SSC MEB, ex-Vice Chancellor, Goa University, Honorary Professor, Bioinformatics Center, Savitribai Phule University, Pune, to share a few words with us. Over to you, sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful meeting. Very timely, very important. And it's impossible for me to take names of everybody because everybody is important. The university, the founder of the university, and the current office bearers and scientists there, I interacted with them. I'm extremely happy they have taken advantage of their position and handles an important issue of national importance. As rightly pointed out by the people from ministry time and again, this country has a strength of the oceans around us, and using that strength as a blue revolution, as it was mentioned, and something which comes with the current day wording of Atmanirbhar Bharat, we have to exploit our strength and also generate the capabilities and expertise in this area of not only generating new food sources, but also business and international relations. I think from that point, it's a wonderful exercise, timely under present circumstances, and also participation by a number of people justifies the importance of this meeting. I would only say that the ministry has really been extremely positive. Interacting with them, I know many times, many of us who are not necessarily in that kind of administration and we only do research more, we start demanding a lot of things with imaginations. But this ministry has been really holding hands, going together and making 1 + 1 = 11. And I think that is extremely important. I only would say that this exercise will fetch good benefits to all of us. Also to think of new ideas, new avenues with the government's new planning that is coming up. And you already know that there is a program called, Prime Minister's Matsya Sampada Yojana. That kind of thing can go further strengthened. And I wouldn't like to take more time in this entire business. I would say that best luck to all of you. Congratulations to the organizers. And I don't have to individually identify anybody because everyone has their own contributions, positions, and importance in this field. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Professor. I now invite the steering committee members of MOES ESTC to say a few words on this wonderful occasion.
You unmute, Ma.
Yes, Mr. Vineet, please kindly unmute Dr. Jagveer, sir.
Yes, sure.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
And really wonderful morning with this excellent beginning of this week for this entire week a seminar on this topic of great relevance as narrated by Professor Dr. Sheila Rani and our esteemed chair, Professor Debakar Saab, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, our Bala Subramanian Saab. As mentioned by all great our leaders, this seminar is definitely going to give through a light and in practical way, we are going to have definitely certain scientific outcome in line with our ancient, if just that maybe, I don't know, that maybe a good science fiction story, as our those epic says, that Samudra Manthan, from Samudra Manthan to this scientific Manthan of 1 week, definitely we are going to have this practical scientific outcome which are of great relevance to society and nation and the entire world, as the resources, tremendous resources are still unknown from this ocean side. So definitely it is going to be an excellent event in that way. And I am really excited to listen more from the our great scientists in this field. And thanks to all the esteemed members and chair of SSC and the organizer of this event as Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology. I just will like to convey my best of wishes and will like to listen rather speaking anything on this, because I am not an expert in this field. Just I will like to convey best of wishes for this seminar. Thank you so much. And I am able to have this opportunity also to see my respected and beloved friends through this. That is another opportunity I could have. I was missing to see many of you. Thank you so much and all the best. Best of wishes.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Kribakaran, sir, to share a few words with us. Mr. Vineet, please kindly unmute Dr. Kribakaran, sir.
Yes.
Vineet, you have done it?
No, ma'am.
You got done it?
No, ma'am. No.
Vineet, he goes by the name Admin Vineet. Please
Okay.
unmute him.
Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am. I have given unmute.
Sir, I think you can, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Morning to all. I don't want to take much of your time. It's really an amazing event. I'm really happy that Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology has taken a big initiative by inviting so many stalwart speakers for this event. Especially, this problem is associated with 3 major issues on seed production, feed formulation, and disease management. This situation is almost for the past 20 years, we are left out with the same problem, and it is continuing till today. I hope this event, people will discuss a lot of issues associated with that, and they will come up with the solution for improving our economy by addressing all these issues. And I am also happy to note that the Ministry of Earth Science, Dr. Jagvir Singh and Dr. Gopal Iyengar is showing a lot of interest through EST cell, and they will go on funding this type of important issues in the years to come. Especially coming to the speakers, all are big stalwarts from various industries, and they have to work closely with all organizations which are all involved in the aquaculture industry. Unless the institute and industry's involvement is not there, none of the problems will be addressed in the years to come. So it is an imminent requirement of the country. We all should work together and address the issues and come out, because the country like China, when we compare, we are nowhere in front of them. Although we occupy the second and third place in terms of production and technology respectively, but the margin is around 75 to 80% of the production capacity. When we will reach this gap, when we will reduce this gap, this margin at a closest level is a big question. There is no doubt China is a very vast country, but our luckily or unluckily, our population are mostly vegetarians, so we don't have that much demand to go to work. But when we come to the export market, always we can work together and select the species like, sea bass and cobia are common in tropical countries, and similar species are available in China also. They can develop the technology and they can always afford at a very lower cost globally. But we should know our native species, which can bring a lot of export value, and we should develop the technology towards that, where the China cannot compete, being a native species. So the industry people and institutions, those who are participating for the next 6 days, I hope they will discuss the major issues and come out with a solution to solve the problems associated in our country. With this, I thank the organizers for inviting me and to share some of my views with you all. Thank you, and I wish you all the best. Bye.
Thank you, sir. I now am happy to invite Dr. Loka Bharati ma'am to share a few words with us.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am.
Unmute yourself, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Ma'am, could you hear us?
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes, we are able to hear you, but we could not see you.
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, I must apologize for being late because of the technical glitches. And then yesterday, my PC went on, upgrading mode one after another, and I couldn't stop. Okay. I'm very happy that I've been invited by the organizers to participate in this symposium. I wish that it comes off with flying colors. And as we go on, I'll be able to add more. But at the starting point of this meeting, I only have to raise a few things time and again, which has been spoken by earlier speakers, or some have not stressed as much as I would like to stress in this beginning of the symposium. Very often when we orient towards technology, we forget a bit of science. I mean, sometimes we forget. And then when things go very well, we are very happy that everything is going well. I just want to stress that sometimes that interaction between academicians and the entrepreneurs should be a little bit stronger than what I have seen earlier, so that the problems when they arise can be solved as and when they arise. That is one point I would like to raise at this point of time. And then so one of the earlier speakers had also spoken about the environment, watching the environment when you're getting into large scale aquaculture. Always the intention should be, as far as possible, though it's not totally possible, the zero pollution of the water, the body that you use for aquaculture or mariculture, and see that you're able to recirculate your own waters. That way you are sure that you are not polluting the environment. The third and most important point is we have spoken about disease management. We all know how virus can be very unforgiving sometimes, and we know the aquaculture industry is sometimes faced with the disease outbreak, especially the prawn culture farms and all that. So we should put all our efforts to minimize those outbreaks, see what best we can do to still work upon this, because till today we do not have totally problem solving of this particular issue in aquaculture. Then there was also a mention about a lot of the algal blooms which can create the pollution, which can upset the eutrophic systems, and then when you're planning a nice mariculture along the coast, it might come as a hindrance. Another important aspect is how to change this bane into boon. It's a bane. How it's a curse. How can you convert that into a technical expertise from stalwarts from this university will be very feasible. How to make use, have a double pronged approach. Make use of this disease forming algae for some good aspects. At the same time, see that you solve the problem of pollution. Not eutrophication to strictly speak. Then this is a few words I would like to say. Thank you for inviting me once again. And I would like to add, as and when the talk goes on, I may have more things when I get ideas from you people to interact. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Dr. GVM Gupta to share a few words with us. Over to you, sir. Vineet, kindly unmute him.
Sir, you are good to go, sir.
Good morning to all. I'm very happy to note that Satyabama University has taken up such a mega initiative. All the speakers have already spoken about the importance and relevance of this particular topic, and then the technology's key sharing benefits to the society and then economic importance. I don't want to go into that, but then my best wishes for this conference to bring a wonderful outputs. That is what we have expected and desired from this workshop. And then I just congratulate each and everyone for organizing. And then the support of MOS is always there with Satyabama, and then all the technology support itself. Thank you very much, and then my best wishes to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Sundaram Seshadri, Advisor, Satyabama University Technology Business Incubator, to share a few words with us.
Can you unmute, sir?
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So anyhow, I've been given the task of introducing the speaker of the day. Before that, I just would like to say a few words. The Technology Business Incubator in Satyabama University is one of the foremost incubators supporting the aquaculture ecosystem in India. That's more important we need to underline. This is formulated by Center for Ocean Research, and this is dedicated for the promotion of entrepreneurs, budding students, and budding entrepreneurs, even existing businessmen, in taking the aquaculture ideas forward. Of course, this Center for this Technology Business Incubator is not only for aquaculture, it takes everything, but gives more importance to aquaculture related entrepreneurship. So I hope this 6 days deliberation, people will be taking a lot of information about this. Especially, we are going to discuss a lot on different areas. As you all know, this symposium is also very unique in such a way that these speakers are all only from industries. None of them are from the academia or research ecosystem. So this is being deliberately formulated in such a way to help the scientists and students engage in this aquaculture ecosystem to get a lot of ideas and promote or become proud entrepreneurs in aquaculture. And of course, we are going to have a lot of lectures on intensive culturing system, from ornamental aquaculture to viral diseases to advances and opportunities in aquaculture. And this is also people are going to talk about new avenues to aquaculture. And also, we know all aquaculture also facing its own problems, how to be resilient, how to make aquaculture resilient, and how to do kind of nutrition research analysis, and also the supporting systems available in terms of engineering and also geological systems, and also in feeds in terms of microalgae. And of course, there's going to be one more lecture on costing and economics, which is going to help the entrepreneurs and our business people to learn a lot on how they can structure the aquaculture operations. And of course, we have a very interesting field, probiotics and seaweeds, and of course, career opportunities. With all these things, I'm sure at the end of the program, at least out of these 1,500 people registered, at least 500 or 600 will come forward to think in a different formulation. And as we all know, as our Secretary, ESDC observed, the government is also giving lot of support. And with the Startup India, Stand Up India, and also other kind of support available from Department of Science and Technology, CSIR, Department of Biotechnology and Earth Sciences, all these departments. And there is a huge opportunity for young entrepreneurs also to move into this direction and take up this kind of work and move forward. So with all these things, I thank you so much. I will step in later. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your precious words of advice. I now request Dr. D. Inbakandan, Scientist E and Head, Center for Ocean Research, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. A warm good morning to all the honorable dignitaries and stars present in this wonderful platform. With the blessings of our beloved founder Chancellor, Colonel Dr. JPO sir, I'm happy to deliver the vote of thanks in this virtual inaugural session. First of all, we are happy to thank Honorable Ministry of Earth Science for their support through the establishment of ESTC in Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. We sincerely thank the valuable and continuous support of the ministry. This is one of the program under the banner in association with the MOES, and we wish to do more such program with the support of our honorable mentors gathering here. On behalf of Center for Ocean Research, we sincerely express our heartfelt thankfulness to our Honorable Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. Maria Zina Johnson, and our President Sir, Dr. Mary Johnson, for their constant guidance, support, and encouragement in all our activities. It gives immense pleasure to thank our Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. T. Shashiprabha, for her valuable presence and for her supporting words in the presidential note. Your ideas and guidance is the great support and energy to the growth of our institute as well as to our center, ma'am. Thank you. It is the right platform to express my heartfelt gratitude to my honorable mentor, advisor, and guru, Professor Dr. T. Balasubramanian sir, for his esteemed presence and his informative words in the inaugural address. Your guidance is the pillar for the growth of every individual in our Center for Ocean Research, sir. Thanks for being forever, and your support is always needed for us. I'm happy to thank Dr. Gopal Iyengar, sir, for his support in our ESTC program from the Ministry of Earth Sciences. We sincerely thank you for your valuable presence and the continuous support and guidance, sir. I'm happy to thank Dr. A.R.T. Arasu, sir. He is the backbone for the creation of the aquaculture facility at Center for Ocean Research. We sincerely thank you for your precious presence and the continuous support and guidance, sir. I'm happy to thank Professor Dr. Dilip Dioberger, sir, who is our chairman of our SSC committee, and I also thank his support in our ESTC program. We sincerely thank you for your valuable presence and the continuous support and guidance, sir. Thank you. It is the right platform to express my sincere gratitude to our honorable members of Scientific Steering Committee of Ministry of Earth Science Technology, sir. I sincerely thank Dr. Logobharati ma'am, Dr. R. Kribaharan sir, Dr. G. Dharani sir, Dr. G.V.M. Gupta sir, and Dr. Jagveer Singh sir for their cordial presence and their informative words in the session. On behalf of Center for Ocean Research, we sincerely express our heartfelt thankfulness to our Director of Research, ma'am, Dr. B. Sheila Rani, for her constant guidance, support, and encouragement in all our activities. Her energy level and the support is the secret of the success of our Center for Ocean Research. Thanks for being us forever in the stepping stone of our success, ma'am. Thank you. Last but least, I have to sincerely thank Dr. Sundaram Sesatri sir, advisor Satyabama Technology Business Incubator, for his support and guidance in shaping this virtual symposium. Finally, it is the right platform to thank our team members of Center for Ocean Research. Our unity is the great strength for us. And my special thanks to Vineet, Anu, Soumya, and CSC Saravanan sir for their support. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With this, we have now come to the end of the inaugural function.